What's up guys, here is the video I promised. You absolutely smashed that subscribe button, so thanks so much. But remember, part 2 of this video will be uploaded at 3.5k subs, so please subscribe if you haven't already. Anyway, let's get started with the character analysis. Kakine Teitoku is the second ranked level 5 in Academy City, and the leader of the dark side organization of School. He is first introduced in Old Testament 15 during the Battle Royale arc as a one-volume antagonist and rival to Accelerator. Kakine became a fan favourite character due to his cocky personality, his stylish appearance, and his unique ability, Dark Matter. But unlike many other Index antagonists from Old Testament, Kakine is not trying to do any good in the world, as many Index villains want to create some kind of positive change in the world, but simply use what can be described as evil or immoral actions to achieve their goals. But Kakine isn't like that. In Old Testament 15, he only cares about himself and doesn't want to create some massive change in the world that will improve society. He only cares about improving his own personal status. But isn't such a motive like that quite generic for a villain? Is Kakine just a stereotypical rival or villain type character, or is there more to him which fans can appreciate, which makes him stand out from other villains like himself? Let's find out. Kakine on paper is a pretty simple character. He is the number 2 Esper, second only to Accelerator in Academy City, but obviously the second spot isn't enough for someone of Kakine's character who has ambition and wants more in life than what is presented to him. He wants to be number 1 to replace Accelerator and open negotiations with the leader of Academy City, Aleister Crowley. I mean, it's pretty obvious why he would want to do this, but then what? What's the point of this motive? Let's say Kakine won and killed Accelerator, forcing Aleister to replace Accelerator with Kakine as the number 1 Esper. What happens next? Or what exactly did Kakine want from this after he achieved his goal? Is his goal simply power, status, influence, all of the above and more? And is it as simple as it initially sounds, or is Kakine actually a deeper character than we all initially thought? I suppose it's best to start from the beginning, which in case this is the prequel to Battle Royale chronologically, Kakine's very own manga, Toaru Kegaku no Dark Matter. From this manga, we learn that Kakine once had a genuine friendship with a girl from his past. We don't know much about this period in Kakine's life, but the girl clearly admired Kakine, but tragically she lost her life, and Kakine blamed himself as he was unable to save her despite his power as a level 5 Esper. From the other children that can be seen, it can also be assumed that this girl was the only person who admired Kakine at this point in his life, while he was alienated from others around him. Ultimately, the Kakine we see all stems from this event. The girl loved Kakine's wings and thought he was cool. While these compliments may not seem like they matter too much, they certainly do. What makes Kakine so interesting as a character is his beliefs about status and perception. He wants everyone to admire him or be loved and respected by those around him. While there are individuals who respect Kakine, like his colleagues in school, they mostly do it out of fear of Kakine in Yobo Banka's case, or if the situation benefits them, like with Gakusai Kaibi. Kakine wants something more than that, actual personal relationships or friendships, or just everyone in Academy City to give a shit about him. While Kakine works with his school teammates, he is their clear superior. Kakine changed from wanting friendship because, despite his power, he was unable to save those who formed close bonds with him, or those who genuinely admired him, so he began to follow a dark path in life. Kakine takes the form of an angel from his wings he gets from dark matter, a supposed benevolent being from heaven, many religious people viewing angels as an image of hope and security. However, depending on the angel, they can also turn evil, like with Lucifer, who became a fallen angel, and the devil. Interestingly, Lucifer wanted the title of God for himself. He didn't like there was someone above him, so maybe Kakine's character somewhat stems from the myth of Lucifer, since Kakine himself was jealous of Accelerator's power and rank as number 1. There is also the Angel of Death, which you wouldn't really associate with stereotypical angels unless you were just thinking about the Book of Exodus, I guess. But Kakine's character is interestingly tied with death as well. Kakine appears as an angel and a level 5, somebody who appears on the outside as someone who can protect and save others, perhaps a hero. But this status of Kakine is what ultimately holds him back. He can't save others, he is no angel, and while he is level 5, he feels he isn't good enough due to his inability to be happy and protect others. This definitely contributed to his descent into darkness. So why does Kakine strive to replace Accelerator? Kakine believes that if he becomes number 1, his fortunes will change, the system of Academy City will be in his benefit, he will have all the power, and more people will admire him. It will give Kakine the belief that he is good enough by increasing his status in the world. Even if most espers in a city would give anything to be a level 5, it isn't enough for Kakine. Kakine needs to become the number 1, as in his mind, it gives the individual so much influence within the city, then Kakine will be able to justify himself as a person and as an esper. But Kakine is consumed by his inferiority complex. Such a complex causes individuals to believe the world or society is against them, and they seek retribution or status to prove that they are the better than those around them. And they can't accept failure, and will do anything to gain acknowledgement from their peers. Kakine meets Yuzuriha Ringo in the Dark Matter manga, a young girl who has Accelerator's thought patterns in her head, and Kakine wishes to use this in order to analyse Accelerator's power so he'll have an advantage when they eventually fight. Kakine initially is only using her to benefit himself and has no qualms over treating her cruelly at first, but realises he must take care of Ringo's well-being to get what he wants. Ringo, however, starts to remind Kakine of the girl from his past from earlier, as she starts to admire him in a very similar way to his childhood friend. So Kakine starts to value her as not just a tool for his plan, but as a friend he wishes to protect. It shows Kakine still has a heart deep inside him, despite his lust for status and ambition. Kakine is also notably angered by being called Accelerator's substitute, further reinstating that all of the people in the city revolve around Accelerator in Kakine's head. However, history repeats itself as Ringo passes away tragically from the experiment conducted by Kihara Soji, further proving to Kakine that despite his ability, and as the number 1, it's never good enough. Being number 1 won't necessarily solve Kakine's problems, but he sees it as his only chance to change his fortunes and live with the admiration and power he craves. He accepts that he will never be a hero due to the fact he can't protect those around him, so he strives for a better title and the influence that comes with that, so he'll be able to sway the opinions and society he finds himself in for his own self-interest and benefit. I briefly want to talk about the subtleties of Kakine's character from the Dark Matter manga in a couple examples. When he says Ringo's name incorrectly and she corrects him, Kakine is adamant that he is in fact correct, rather than accepting the fact that he was wrong. And when a thug says that Kakine relies on his powers to win, Kakine beats him up without using Dark Matter, by just using one leg to kick him. Both of these little examples or anecdotes demonstrate how Kakine cares about his image above all else, and how he is perceived by those around him, even if they are thugs or someone he eventually warms up to. Due to Kakine's anger and hatred, he is willing to cut corners to get what he wants by cruel acts and hurting innocent bystanders, like how he treats Ueharu by stamping on her to find out where Last Order is. The fact that he is willing to use Last Order as a way to get to Accelerator proves he might have treated Last Order in the same way as he did with Ueharu. Kakine has become so obsessed with himself and his own status that he no longer cares about hurting those who are close to others. Accelerator and Kakine fight for the title of number 1, but Kakine interestingly also obtained the tweezers, which analyses Alistair's underlying technology. So with the tweezers and killing Accelerator, he will be able to negotiate with Alistair to make him the main plan. Why does Kakine want this? As I've already said, as the main plan of Alistair, everyone will gravitate to Kakine as he will be the most important expert in the city, and he wants power that even extends further than Alistair eventually. Everyone will fear and admire him, and his status will be much higher than it was before. Kakine is convinced becoming the number 1 will solve all of his problems, but ultimately, Kakine is a bit desperate, arrogant, and most of all, ignorant to reality. Accelerator's life as the number 1 Esper was ultimately one of suffering and torment, worse than even Kakine's life as the number 2. While Accelerator has the power and status, he was abused by researchers and manipulated to commit terrible acts of violence, and above all, he had no family and no people who admired him prior to meeting Last Order. He lived in total isolation. While Kakine perceives Accelerator as Alistair's main plan, it is in fact Toma who is in that position, while Accelerator is perhaps the real number 2 in the eyes of Alistair. Kakine is essentially naive and fighting for a lost cause, which makes the fight between Accelerator and Kakine much more interesting to me, as Accelerator hates Kakine and thinks he is an idiot for wanting to be number 1 without actually knowing what it's like. Kakine becomes angry that Accelerator managed to save civilians while fighting him. For one, it annoys Kakine because Accelerator was not devoting his total attention to fighting Kakine, fueling his inferiority complex. And second, Accelerator was able to save the lives of hundreds of people in a short time frame when Kakine himself could not save anyone in his entire life. So Kakine gets revenge. He stabs Yamikawa in the back, someone who Accelerator sees as part of his family, a loved one. Kakine in this moment wants Accelerator to suffer the same as he did by showing him that Accelerator cannot save those who admire him or those who are close to him. If Kakine drags Accelerator to his same level, then Kakine can ascend higher than Accelerator. However, things don't go as planned as Accelerator turns berserk and ends the life of Kakine Teitoku. Now there is a bit which I want to talk about, some New Testament spoilers right at the end here, so if you haven't read New Testament you can click off the video, and for those of you who have, you can stick around and enjoy the end of the video. 3, 2, 1... Haha, you see how I baited the anime onlys to thinking he's dead? I'm sure you got a chuckle out of that. Yeah, Kakine lives, and somehow he is revived using his own dark matter and takes the form of a dark matter body, and he is more powerful than ever before. Dark matter Kakine is where Kakine's obsession with status and ambition breaks the limit. He believes with this enhanced power that he has surpassed Accelerator and no longer needs a level anymore, and believes he has ascended higher than infinity. I'm not joking. Kakine is a full-blown megalomaniac by this stage, and he continues to take pleasure in making Accelerator vulnerable by targeting his weakness, this time via the use of dark matter Misaka clones to trigger Accelerator's post-traumatic stress disorder. However, Kakine's arrogance becomes his kryptonite as his own power betrays him during the fight versus Accelerator and Mugano, as he is betrayed by his own ability. His power that he believed was unbeatable ended up being his downfall. Ironic. he is replaced as the head of the Dark Matter Network by Beetle 05, whose personality bears the positive or good side of Kakine. You could say Beetle 05, or Beetle 05 I should call him, is the Kakine that would have existed if the original had not descended to darkness. Beetle 05 also is capable of protecting those around him, proving that it was Kakine's ego that prevented him from doing good and saving others. And notably, Beetle 05 gains the admiration of the Hamazura Brigade, most notably Fremeya and Fraulein Crotune. Crotune? Crotune? I don't know how to say her name. And is even known as a saviour of others during the Elements arc as an urban legend. This nicely concludes Kakine as a character in my own opinion, but I would love to see whether Beetle or the original return one day. And the last we saw of the original was him being used by Ophinus in her plan to create Gungnir. I suppose Kakine finally achieved his dream of becoming a main plan, in a dark and twisted way. Overall, I feel like Kakine is sometimes misrepresented as a character with little substance to him, or a character just included to have a cool fight with Accelerator and nothing more, when there are actually multiple layers to his character. The Dark Matter manga definitely fleshed him out more, which is great, but even during the fight with Accelerator, Kakine drops plenty of hints about his past and ambitions, so that he is still a deep character without the manga, but with it, it makes him way more interesting. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll leave you with this short meme or shitpost. See you next time.